Hi everyone, on today's menu we're making homemade churros. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe. First, grab a small bowl and add a half a cup of granulated sugar and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Give that a quick stir with either a whisk or a fork. After this is fully mixed, set it aside and we'll use this later to coat the churro. Now, grab a stick of butter. We're only going to use half because we want 1/4 cup, and I'm using unsalted butter. Unwrap this butter and cut this into cubes so that it can melt easily. Now for your churro mix, grab a pan and add 1 cup of water. Then add your butter that you cubed earlier. Then add 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now move the pan to the stove and over medium-high heat, bring this to a boil. Once everything has melted and your mixture has begun to boil, add 1 cup of all-purpose flour and begin to stir this with a spoon or rubber spatula. And you want to mix this all together until you see no flour left over. And if you have big chunks of flour, just try to break it up with your spoon or spatula. All of the small lumps, they don't really matter. After there's no more flour, transfer your mixture to a bowl and let it cool for 5 minutes. While the mixture is cooling, add your vegetable oil to a deep saucepan over medium-high heat. Once your mixture has cooled, add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 eggs. Be sure to add the eggs one at a time after blending. Your mixture will look like it's separating, but keep blending and it'll come together to form a dough. Scrape your edges so you make sure that everything has been fully mixed, and then I'm going to take my batter and put it in a piping bag. I'm going to be using a Wilton 1M star tip, and if you don't have a piping bag, you can always use a ziploc bag. I'm just going to take some scissors and cut the end off of the piping bag. Okay, now let's make some churros. Going back over to the stove, squeeze about 3 seconds and use a scissors to cut the ends off. But don't be afraid to make these as big or small as you like. I just made mine these size because I thought that they were perfect, but if you want smaller or longer ones, you'll just apply pressure for a shorter or longer amount of time. Over medium-high heat, you're gonna wanna cook these churros for 2 minutes on each side. After 2 minutes, I'm gonna take some tongs and just flip them over. I only made 5 or 6 at a time because I didn't want any of them to stick together. Once your churros are as brown as you like, transfer them to a plate that has a napkin so that they'll be able to drain. Grab your mixture we made earlier with the cinnamon and sugar and roll them in the cinnamon and sugar, and this is how they're gonna turn out. Make sure you do these after 30 seconds out of the oil so that the sugar will stick. So here's the final result of the churros. They're super easy to make and they're crunchy on the outside and soft and fluffy on the inside. Please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you made these.